Hello, and welcome to another Tristan Has Thoughts Destiny 2 discussion. Today, our game director Joe Blackburn dropped a massive 5,300 word state of the game. While there is a lot of good information in there, I also find there to be quite a bit of fluff as well. My goal here today is to break down the important aspects of the state of the game and present them to you in a shorter video. If you are not into reading essays, this is going to be the video for you. I do plan to do some deeper dives into parts of this state of the game in the coming days, so keep an eye out for that if you're interested in that kind of content. A reminder to subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content, as I upload daily and we're really close to 100 subscribers. It would be amazing to hit that before Lightfall. The article opens up with Joe Blackburn talking about how Lightfall is the penultimate expansion for the Light and Darkness saga. The team is very happy with Witch Queens and its seasons, but understand that there were some rough spots. He mentions how the seasons can feel overly light in their latter half, and how more engaged players tend to run out of meaningful content to do. Joe then shares with us 4 goals for Lightfall's year of content: expand player imaginations, bring challenge back, enrich content, and connect Guardians. Joe then drops our next season's name, Season of Defiance. In this part, he speaks about how they are doing away with Umbrals and Umbral energies in Lightfall seasons. Instead, going forward, only Glimmer and seasonal engrams will be needed for focusing, with seasonal engrams being stored at their respective vendors. Opening activity chests in Lightfall seasons is going to be simpler as well, seeing as it will only require a single key. The base activity rewards are being increased along with the rewards for opening the chest at the end of seasonal activities. They also mention that no longer will you need to run the core playlist for seasonal currency, as now keys can drop from seasonal activities themselves. We also learned from this that the seasonal upgrade grid is being overhauled to have less unlockable selections and more variance between each unlockable node. Next, he mentions the following season, Season of the Deep. Season of the Deep will have no seasonal upgrade grid along with the following season. The seasonal upgrade grids may make a comeback, he states, but they are going on hiatus for a little bit. It's mentioned that they want to create fresher feeling seasonal activities similar to that of Shattered Realm and Season of the Lost, and Battlegrounds from Season of the Chosen. From this, we move into weapon crafting. Joe talks about how Lightfall and its seasons will feature less craftable weapons in an attempt to place more emphasis on non-crafted weapons. They also want non-crafted weapons to stand toe-to-toe with crafted weapons, so they will be adding a way to enhance random rolled weapons over time. This is going to start with the Lightfall Raid Adept weapons, and eventually be rolled out to all in the coming seasons and future of Lightfall. They want you to be able to invest time and resources into non-crafted weapons to power them up in the same way you would a crafted weapon. The goal is to start this in Season of the Deep with the Raid Adept weapons, and unlock this for all weapons going forward. Deepsight weapons going forward also will only be used to unlock patterns, as there is no more resonant element, and Season of the Deep will add a way to unlock Deepsight on craftable weapons you have not yet unlocked the pattern for. Next, we get into difficulty. This is generally just Joe rehashing some of the points we've seen from previous articles, talking about how Tier 10 stats are going to be reduced to their current Tier 8 cooldowns with Lightfall, and how Resilience mods are seeing an increase in their cost, along with the nerf to Resilience overall. He talks about how the team is happy with the difficulty of the Heist Battleground power modifier, and they expect to roll that into the Vanguard Ops playlist eventually, along with Neo Muna having some of these features. Lastly, we get a little bit of a tease about how power is going to see a big overhaul in final shape. PvP is next on the docket. Blackburn speaks about how Countdown will be returning with Lightfall, and that a new game mode called Checkmate Control will be added to Crucible Labs. This mode will try to curb weapon damage, ability uptime, and ammo economy, focusing more seemingly on gunplay. Lastly, he talks about how a new map will be arriving in Season of the Deep, Season 22, and Season 23. Next, we get a few words on exotic missions. In Season 22, we will be getting an exotic mission rotator. This means each week, a new exotic mission will be on rotation, similar to how dungeons and raids work currently. This will allow them to bring back older exotic missions and have them be playable in the game. From there, we move into a strike refresh. They want to revamp and increase the difficulty of the Lake of Shadows and Armed Dealer Strike. This will mean bringing them in par with strikes like Lightblade and adding new objectives to them. They will also be lowering the chance to see strikes like Exodus Crash, finally, and Inverted Spire, as they are getting no changes and are being removed entirely from the Nightfall rotation. They also confirmed that Season 16 and Season 19 Battlegrounds will be added to the Vanguard Ops playlist. We get a small line about how they're changing the avenue of earning exotics and somehow moving them into the core playlist, and new rewards when completing weekly challenges, but it's not elaborated on much. Lastly, we get a few words on Guardian ranks. Joe speaks about commendations and how they will be used as a quick thank you for Guardians you enjoy playing with. There'll be varying accommodations depending on the activity you are in as well. They're also changing text chat, so instead of it being opt-in, it's going to be opt-out of, as they lament how lonely Destiny can feel at times. Lastly, Joe tells us that the in-game LFG is being delayed until the final season of Lightfall. Those are what I consider to be some of the biggest and most important points from this mammoth article. What do you think of some of these changes? Be sure to let me know in the comment section below. Like I said, I do plan to create some more focused discussion videos from this article in the coming days, so please keep an eye out for those. If you enjoyed this video, a subscription is greatly appreciated. And remember, for each like this video gets, a capybara gets a big scritch.